Hi everyone, and welcome to day 33 of my 40 till 40. I am having a wonderful day today, and I wanted to just record a video for you. And this video is going to be about, and forgive me if you hear building. My neighbor across the street it looks like he's building him a deck. We have an ocean view, and I'm sure that he wants to get the best view for this summer. So he has his music going and his tools going, and I'm just enjoying the beautiful outdoors. So I wanted to come to you with a video that was sparked by another video I saw by a woman I follow who's also an expat and believes in breaking up with America and things like that. And she was covering things she hadn't covered before about being Black and traveling, and making sure that you don't leave America and end up in another country that treats you poorly. So as we've seen in Ukraine, people of African descent, of the African diaspora, Africans, our people are being treated less than in Ukraine at this time. And so I started thinking about one of the things that I am really, really grateful for, and another reason for you to leave America and reduce that trauma footprint of racism. So another benefit to going to Mexico and probably other countries that treat you better than what you're being treated like in America is that you experience this thing as a Black person that we don't usually get to experience in a certain type of way in America, and that is privilege. So privilege, you know very well, and in America we talk about it in the idea of white privilege for the most part. White privilege right now is big, but you know that privilege can be male privilege, right? We also live in a very paternalistic society in America where men, so not only white, but white men are the ones that dominate. And so we can also talk about privilege within our race. And so we know about that. We hear about colorism. The lighter you are in your particular ethnicity, the better. The closer to white you are, the better. And you get privileges for that. I would also hear arguments about female privilege. And I absolutely agree. I get certain privileges because I'm a woman. I get certain privileges because of my skin tone. I get certain privileges because I'm of a certain education level. You can get privileges because you're able-bodied, and that's not a really good term to use when we're talking about people that are in the disability community, because I could become disabled at any point. And so, but we're very focused. Everything is very targeted and focused on people that have traditional abilities. And so we can go on and on about privilege, but I want to focus on the privilege as a Black person that you get in Mexico and maybe other countries that you won't get in America. Two of the things I thought of right off, and also again inspired by looking at certain videos, and she talked about the fact that you're an American. You have American privilege. So that might be regarded very well, right? And sometimes I hear white Americans talk about coming to Mexico. They are swindled and, targeted and bribed, and just some horror stories about some people. And I can see how they might be targeted because of the history of white Americans on these different countries. So they might be treated a little differently than I am as a Black American. So we're both American, but we have different history. So the one thing is that being American, maybe in some countries is seen as elite, right? Because we are so pompous and so prideful. We're the best, wealthiest, smartest, land of opportunity. So there's this pedestal that Americans are put on in some countries. And so I have this American privilege with this American accent. I also have an American dollar, a very, well, right now, unstable, but very stable currency. Goes a long way, right? So when people see you as an American, they're like, money. This person has resources, money. There's opportunity there in some way. And sometimes I talk about paying an American tax. So sometimes people will try to charge me more money for things because I'm American. Sometimes I pay that, and I call it the American tax. It's the tax I pay for being able to live in a country at a very low cost of living while extracting American dollars. And sometimes I say no because I know the locals don't pay that amount. So you have the American accent, you have the American dollar. The other thing is that, like I said, with white Americans, you don't have a history of having done anyone anything wrong. So for the most part, you're not a threat in any way, have never been historically, and are not present day. And we are a very spiritual and respectful people, very familial. We have a lot in common with the cultures, communities of color, cultures, ethnicity, right? Ethnic backgrounds. We have a lot in common as far as our value systems, right? The way we value our village, our community, and the things we hold dear. Very opposite to white society, very independent in nature and hardworking and kind of really cold and disconnected and things like that. And so my black skin is not a threat. I don't feel like I'm the target here. The police are not looking for me. The cartel, they're not looking for me. I don't have that money or drugs, So I am not the one that people are afraid of or anything like that. So that freedom, that when I'm walking around, people are not looking at me like I'm a threat. I'm going to do something. I'm going to retaliate for what they've done to me. They've done nothing to me. I've done nothing to them, right? I come in peace. And so with that comes privilege to walk around. So when we think about privilege means you can not worry about going to the store and coming back, driving and, being pulled over and being killed. Privilege is that I'll be treated, for the most part, very fairly. I won't be taken advantage of. There's so many privileges that I get to enjoy here. The privilege of affordable housing, right? The privilege and opportunity to, if I want to, get a job. Where else do we see so many inequities, right? A privilege and opportunity for my child to be educated in schools that actually teach more than one language. So the education system here is much better than American systems. Okay, so that hunk is our garbage guy, the garbage guys, the garbage man. I love that they hunk. If you forget to take your trash out, they hunk and they wait until you bring it out. I love that. And sometimes I wouldn't pull my stuff out on the curb and they would get it for me. So sweet. They know sometimes I would forget. So these are some of the things that I just wanted to let you know. So if you want to get a taste of what privilege is, if you want to kind of step in the shoes of your white counterparts and see what it is to just walk around free and have these different privileges to do this and do that and say this and say that and go here and go there, then go to another country that doesn't see you as a threat, respects your culture and who you are. I've shared this before. I feel very respected as I walk around in my African accessories, head wraps, elephants, jewelry, and express my Africanness. And people are just so like, wow, how beautiful. Wow, look at you. Right? Just the expression and the pride of my culture, not having to dim my light, not having to pretend to be something else, put on this white corporate European, facade, and just really not having to put on my Teflon vest every time I go out. I don't feel defensive. I don't feel, is someone trying to take advantage of me? Somebody trying to talk to me crazy? Somebody trying to do this to me? No. And so if you want to feel that privilege, I am inviting you and I challenge you to and encourage you to step outside of America and experience something different other than your vacation, but really seeing yourself outside of the box of America and not seeing that as your boundary line, that you are stuck there, you can only do life there. It's not true. Don't let them tell you lies. So I just wanted to share that with you. Still pumping generational wealth. I'm working on a new project for passive income. I'm so excited about it. I'll tell you all more about it when I get it going and all of this. But I have room to think about without that stress of America. I have room to think about creative ways to create passive income, so I don't always have to show up to make my money, right? And so I'm still pushing generational wealth. I'm still wishing you and sending you vibes for legacy and freedom, ease, and rest. Black women, happy Women's History Month. We deserve to rest. We deserve to have ease and luxury. Our ancestors have already paid our price so many times over. So I am unapologetic in not wanting to work hard anymore. Thank you for listening, and please give me a thumbs up or a like if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you later.